Good morning. Happy Saturday. Saturday's a good day. All right, I'm going to jump right in because if I have time, I'm going to read 2 days. We're going to see how this goes, see how long the first day takes me today. But thanks for watching, and I hope you are blessed by this reading. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in. So day 22, Eliphaz's second response to Job. Job 15, 1 through 35. So far, Job has cried out and complained. Bildad has responded a couple of times. Job has responded a couple of times. Now Eliphaz is going to respond the second time. So, okay. Job 15, 1 through 35. Then Eliphaz the Temanite replied, "A wise man wouldn't answer with such empty talk. You are nothing but a windbag." Oh my gosh, that's funny. The wise don't engage in empty chatter. What good are such words? Have you no fear of God, no reverence for him? Your sins are telling your mouth what to say. Your words are based on clever deception. Your own mouth condemns you, not I. Your own lips testify against you. Were you the first person ever born? Were you born before the hills were made? Were you listening at God's secret counsel? Do you have a monopoly on wisdom? What do you know that we don't? What do you understand that we do not? On our side are aged, gray-haired men, much older than your father. Is God's comfort too little for you? Is his gentle word not enough? What has taken away your reason? What has weakened your vision that has turned you against God and say all these evil things? Can any mortal be pure? Can any born of a woman be just? Look, God does not even trust the angels. Even the heavens are not absolutely pure in his sight. How much less pure is a corrupt and sinful person with a thirst for wickedness? If you will listen, I will show you. I will answer you from my own experience. And it is confirmed by the reports of wise men who have heard the same thing from their fathers, from those whom land was given long before any foreigners arrived. The wicked writhe in pain throughout their lives. Years of trouble are stored up for the ruthless. The sound of terror rings in their ears, and even on good days they fear the attack of the destroyer. They dare not go out into the darkness for fear they will be murdered. They wander around saying, "Where can I find bread?" They know not the day of destruction is near. The dark days terrify them. They live in distress and anguish, like a king preparing for battle. For they shake their fists at God, defying the Almighty. Holding their strong shields, they defiantly charge against him. These wicked people are heavy and prosperous. Their waists bulge with fat, but their cities will be ruined. They will live in abandoned houses that are ready to tumble down. Their riches will not last, and their wealth will not endure. Their possessions will no longer spread across the horizon. They will not escape the darkness. The burning sun will wither their shoots, and the breath of God will destroy them. Let them no longer fool themselves by trusting in empty riches, for emptiness will be their only reward. They will be cut down in the prime of life. Their branches will never again be green. They will be like a vine whose grapes are harvested too early, like an olive tree that loses its blossom before the fruit can form. For the godless are barren. Their homes, enriched with bribery, will burn. They conceive trouble and give birth to evil. Their womb produces deceit. Okay. Job's fifth speech, a response to Eliphaz, Job 16, 1 through 22. I have heard all of this before. What miserable comforters you are. Won't you ever stop blowing hot air? What makes you keep on talking? I could say the same things if you were in my place. I could spout off criticism and shake my head at you, but if it were me, I would encourage you. I would try to take away your grief. Instead, I suffer if I defend myself. I suffer no less if I refuse to speak. Oh God, you have ground me down and devastated my family. As if to prove I have sinned, you've reduced me to skin and bones. My gaunt flesh testifies against me. God hates me and angrily tears me apart. He snaps his teeth at me and pierces me with his eyes. People jeer and laugh at me. They slap my cheek in contempt. A mob gathers against me. God has handed me over to sinners. He has tossed me into the hands of the wicked. I was living quietly until he shattered me. He took me by the neck and broke me in pieces. Then he set me up as his target, and now his archers surround me. His arrows pierce me without mercy. The ground is wet with my blood. Again and again he smashes against me, charging at me like a warrior. I wear burlap to show my grief. My pride lies in the dust. My eyes are red with weeping. My dark shadows circle my eyes. Yet I have done no wrong, and my prayer is pure. O earth, do not conceal my blood. Let it cry out on my behalf. Even now my witness is in heaven. My advocate is there on high. My friends scorn me, but I pour out my tears to God. I need someone to mediate between God and me, as a person mediates between friends. For soon I must go down that road from which I will never return. Job continues to defend his innocence. Job 17, 1 through 16. My spirit is crushed, and my life is nearly snuffed out. Come on. The grave is ready to receive me. I am surrounded by mockers. I watch how bitterly they taunt me. You must defend my innocence, O God, since no one else will stand up for me. But you have closed their minds to understanding. But do not let them triumph. They betray their friends for their own advantage, so let their children faint with hunger. God has made a mockery of me among the people. They spit in my face. My eyes are swollen with weeping, and I am but a shadow of my former self. The virtuous are horrified when they see me. The innocent rise up against the godly. The righteous keep moving forward, and those with clean hands become stronger and stronger. As for all of you, come back with a better argument, though I still won't find a wise man among you. My days are over, my hopes have disappeared, my heart's desires are broken. These men say that the night is day, they claim that the darkness is light. What if I go to the grave and make my bed in darkness? What if I call the grave my father, and the maggot my mother or my sister? Where then is my hope? Can anyone find it? No, my hope will go down with the grave, and we will rest together in the dust. Bildad's second response to Job, Job 18, 1 through 21. Then Bildad the Shuhite replied, How long before you stop talking? Speak sense if you want us to answer. Do you think we are mere animals? Do you think we are stupid? You may tear out your hair in anger, but will that destroy the earth? Will it make the rocks tremble? Surely the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. The sparks of their fire will not glow. The light in their tent will grow dark. The lamp hanging above them will be quenched. The confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. Their own schemes will be their downfall. The wicked will walk in a net. They fall into a pit. A trap grabs them by the heel, a snare holds them tight. A noose lies hidden on the ground, a rope is stretched across their path. Terrors surround the wicked, and trouble at every step. Hunger depletes their strength, and calamity waits for them to stumble. Disease eats their skin and devours their limbs. Jeepers! They are torn from the security of their homes, and are brought down to the king of terrors. The home of the wicked will burn down. Burning sulfur rains on their houses. Their roots will dry up, and their branches will wither. All memory of their existence will fade from the earth. No one will remember their names. They will be thrust from the light into darkness, driven from the world. They will have neither children nor grandchildren, nor any survivor in the place where they lived. People in the west are appalled at their fate. People in the east are horrified. They will say, This is the home of a wicked person, the place of one who rejected God. Okay, well that was 9 minutes, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do a second day here since I started late into the year doing this. I'm going to try to see if I can catch up to the current date at some point. So, all right, I'll do a second day. Job's sixth speech, a response to Bildad. Job 19, 1 through 29. Then Job spoke again. How long will you torture me? How long will you try to crush me with your words? You have already insulted me 10 times. You should be ashamed of treating me so badly. Even if I have sinned, that is my concern, not yours. You think you're better than I am, using humiliation as evidence of my sin. But it is God who has wronged me, capturing me in his net. I cry out, help, but no one answers me. I protest, but there is no justice. God has blocked my ways, so I cannot move. He has plunged me He has plunged my path into darkness. He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. He has demolished me on every side. I am finished. He has uprooted my hope like a fallen tree. His fury burns against me. He counts me as an enemy. His troops advance. They build up roads to attack me. They camp all around my tent. My relatives stay far away, and my friends have turned against me. My family is gone, and my close friends have forgotten me. My servant and maids consider me a stranger. I am like a foreigner to them. When I call my servant, he doesn't come. I have to plead with him. My breath is repulsive to my wife. I am rejected by my own family. Even the young children despise me. When I stand to speak, they turn their backs on me. My close friends detest me. Those I have loved have turned against me. I have been reduced to skin and bones and have escaped death by the skin of my teeth. Have mercy on me, my friends, have mercy, for the hand of God has struck me. Must you all persecute me like God does? Haven't you chewed me up long enough? Oh, that my words could be recorded. Oh, that they could be inscribed on a monument, carved with an iron chisel and filled with lead, engraved forever in the rock. But as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand upon earth at last. After my body has decayed, yet in my body I will see God. I will see him for myself. Yes, I will see him with my own eyes. I am overwhelmed at the thought. How dare you go on persecuting me, saying it's your own fault? You should fear punishment yourselves, for your attitude deserves punishment. Then you will know that there is indeed a judgment. Okay, Zophar's second response to Job, Job 21 through 29. Then Zophar, the Naamathite, replied, I must reply because I am greatly disturbed. I have had to endure your insults, but now my spirit prompts me to reply. Don't you realize that from the beginning of time, ever since people were placed on the earth, the triumph of the wicked has been short-lived, and the joy of the godless has been only temporary? Though the pride of the godless reaches the heavens, and their heads touch the clouds, yet they will vanish forever, thrown away like their own dung. Those who never will ask, where are they? They will fade like a dream and not be found. They will vanish like a vision in the night. Those who once saw them will see them no more. Their families will never again see them. Their children will beg from the poor, for they must give back their stolen riches. Though they are young, their bones will lie in dust. They enjoyed the sweet taste of wickedness, letting it melt under their tongue. They savored it, holding it long in their mouths, but suddenly the food in their bellies turned sour, a poisonous venom in their stomach. They will vomit the wealth they swallowed. God won't let them keep it down. They will suck the poison of cobras. The viper will kill them. They will never again enjoy streams of olive oil or rivers of milk and honey. They will give back everything they worked for. Their wealth will bring them no joy. For they oppressed the poor man and left them destitute. They foreclosed on their homes. They were always greedy and never satisfied. Nothing remains of all things they dreamed about. Nothing is left after they finish gorging themselves. Therefore their prosperity will not endure. In the midst of plenty they will run into trouble and overcome by misery. May God give them a belly full of trouble. May God rain down his anger upon them when they try to escape an iron weapon. A bronze-tip arrow will pierce them. The arrow is pulled from their back, and the arrowhead glistens with blood. The terrors of death are upon them. Their treasures will be thrown into deepest darkness. A wildfire will devour their goods, consuming all they have left. The heavens will reveal their guilt, and the earth will testify against them. A flood will sweep away their house. God's anger will descend on them in torrents. This is the reward that God gives the wicked. It is the inheritance decreed by God. Job's seventh speech, a response to Zophar, Job 21, 1 through 34. Then Job spoke again. Listen closely to what I am saying. That's one consolation you can give me. Bear with me and let me speak. After I have spoken, you may resume mocking me. My complaint is with God, not with people. I have good reason to be so impatient. Look at me and be stunned. Put your hand over your mouth in shock. When I think about what I am saying, I shudder. My body trembles. Why do the wicked prosper, growing old and powerful? They live to see their children grow up and settle down and enjoy their grandchildren. Their homes are safe from every fear, and God does not punish them. Their bulls never fail to breed. Their cows bear calves, never miscarry. They let their children frisk about like lambs. Their little ones skip and dance. They sing with tambourines and harps. They celebrate to the sound of the flute. They spend their days in prosperity, then go down to the grave in peace. And yet they say to God, go away. We want no part of you and your ways. Who is the Almighty, and why should we obey him? What good will it do us to pray? They think their prosperity is their own doing, but I will have nothing to do with that kind of thinking. Yet the light of the wicked never seems to be extinguished. Do they ever have trouble? Does God distribute sorrows to them in anger? Are they driven before the wind like straw? No, not at all. I missed a sentence. Are they carried away by the storm like chaff? No, not at all. Well, you say, at least God will punish their children. But I say he should punish the ones who sin, so that they understand his judgment. Let them see their destruction with their own eyes. Let them drink deeply of the anger of the Almighty, for they will not care what happens to their family after they are dead. But who can teach a lesson to God, since he judges even the most powerful? One person dies in prosperity, completely comfortable and secure, the picture of good health, vigorous and fit. Another person dies in poverty, never having tasted the good life. But both are buried in the same dust, both are eaten by the same maggots. Look, I know what you're thinking. I know the schemes you plot against me. You will teach me of rich and wicked people, whose house have vanished before their sins. But ask those who have been turned around, and they will tell you the truth. Evil people are spared in times of calamity and are allowed to escape disaster. No one criticizes them openly. Come on. Or pays them back for what they have done. When they are carried to the grave, an honor guard keeps watch at their tomb. A great funeral procession goes to the cemetery. Many pay their respects as the body is laid to rest, and the earth gives a sweet response. How can your empty cliches comfort me? All your explanations are lies. Okay, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna do day 3 because I'm getting closer to getting caught up, and this is a very short one, so I'm just gonna keep going. Eliphaz's third response to Job. Job 22, 1 through 30. Then Eliphaz the Temanite replied, Can a person do anything to help God? Can even a wise person be helpful to him? Is it any advantage to the Almighty if you are righteous? Would it be any gain to him if you are perfect? Is it because you are so pious that he accuses you and brings judgment against you? No, it's because of your wickedness. There's no limit to your sins. For example, you must have lent money to your friend and demanded clothing as security. Yes, you stripped him to the bone. You must have refused water for the thirsty and food for the hungry. You probably think the land belongs to the powerful and only privileged have a right to it. You must have sent widows and empty-handed and You must have sent widows and oh my goodness, maybe I should have stopped. You must have sent widows away empty-handed and crushed the hopes of orphans. That is why you are surrounded by traps and tremble from sudden fears. That is why you cannot see in the darkness and waves of water cover you. God is so great, higher than the heavens, higher than the farthest stars. But you replied, That's why God can't see what I'm doing. How can he judge through the thick darkness? For thick clouds swirl about him and he cannot see us. He is way up there walking on the vault of heaven. Will you continue on the old paths where evil people have walked? They were snatched away in the prime of life, the foundations of their lives washed away. For they say to God, Leave us alone. What can the Almighty do to us? Yet he was the one who filled their homes with good things, so I will have nothing to do with that kind of thinking. The righteous will be happy to see the wicked destroyed, and the innocent will laugh in contempt. They will say, See how our enemies have been destroyed. The last of them have been consumed in the fire. Submit to God, and you will have peace. Then things will go well for you. Listen to his instruction, and store them in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you will be restored. So clean up your life. If you give up your lust for money and throw your precious gold into the river, the Almighty himself will be your treasure. He will be your precious silver. Then you will take delight in the Almighty and look up to God. You will pray to him, and he will hear you, and you will fulfill your vows to him. You will succeed in whatever you choose to do, and the light will shine on the road ahead of you. If people are in trouble and you say, Help them, God will save them. Even sinners will be rescued. They will be rescued because your hands are pure. Job's 8th speech, a response to Eliphaz, Job 23, 1 through 17. Then Job spoke again. My complaint today is a bitter one. I try hard not to groan aloud. If only I knew where to find God, I would go to his court. I would lay out my case. I would present my argument. And then I would listen to his reply and understand what he says to me. Would he use his great power to argue with me? No, he would give me a fair hearing. Honest people can reason with him, so I would forever be acquitted by my judge. I go east, but he is not there. I go west, and I cannot find him. I do not see him in the north, for he is hidden. I look to the south, but he is concealed. But he knows where I am going, and when he tests me, I will come out as pure gold. For I have stayed on God's paths. I have followed his ways and not turned aside. I have departed from his commands, but have treasured his words more than daily food. But once he has made his decision, who can change his mind? Whatever he wants to do, he does. So he will let me do whatever he has planned. He controls my destiny. No wonder I am so terrified in his presence. When I think of it, terror grips me. God has made me sick at heart. The Almighty has terrified me. Darkness is all around me. Thick and impenetrable darkness is everywhere. Job asks why the wicked are not punished. Job 24, 1 through 25. Why doesn't the Almighty bring the wicked to judgment? Why must the godly wait for him in vain? Evil people steal land by moving the boundary markers. They steal livestock and put them in their own pastures. They take the orphan's donkey and demand the widow's ox as security for a loan. The poor are pushed off the path. The needy must hide together for safety. The wild donkeys in the wilderness. The poor must spend all of their time looking for food, searching even in the desert for food for their children. They harvest a field they do not own, and they glean in the vineyards of the wicked. All night they lie naked in the cold, without clothing or covering. They are soaked by mountain showers, and they huddle against the rock for want of a home. The wicked snatch a widow's child from her breast, taking the baby as security for a loan. The poor must go about naked, without any clothing. They harvest food for others while they themselves are starving. They press out olive oil without being allowed to taste it. They tread in the winepress as they suffer from thirst. The groans of the dying rise from the city, and the wounded cry for help, yet God ignores their moaning. Wicked people rebel against the light. They refuse to acknowledge his ways or stay in its paths. The murderer rises in the early dawn to kill the poor and needy. At night he is a thief. The adulterers wait for the twilight, saying no one will see them. He hides his face so no one will know him. Thieves break into a house at night and sleep in the daytime. They are not acquainted with the light. The black night is their morning. They ally themselves with terrors of darkness, but they disappear like foam down a river. Everything they own is cursed, and they are afraid to enter their own vineyards. The grave consumes sinners, just as drought and heat consume snow. Their own mothers will forget them. Maggots will find them sweet to eat. No one will remember them. Wicked people are like a broken tree in the storm. They cheat the woman who has no son to help her. They refuse to help the needy widow. God, in his power, drags away the rich. They may rise high, but they have no assurance of life. They may be allowed to live in security, but God is always watching them. And though they are great now, in a moment they will be gone like all of the others, cut off like the heads of grain. Can anyone claim otherwise? Who can prove me wrong? Okay, Bildad's third response to Job, Job 25, 1 through 6. Then Bildad the Shuhite replied, God is powerful and dreadful. He enforces peace in the heavens. Who is able to count his heavenly army? Doesn't his light shine on all the earth? How can a mortal be innocent before God? Can anyone born of a woman be pure? God is more glorious than the moon. He shines brighter than the stars. In comparison, people are maggots. We mortals are mere worms. All right. There we go. Got a little bit caught up today. I'm trying 24 minutes. That's the longest we've done. The only reason I'm trying to catch up is because in this chronological Bible, we're on January 26th. So I would like to get up. Maybe we can get there almost tomorrow. I would like to get up so the dates match the day that I'm actually walking, because I started 9 days into the new year. So, okay. That's it. I hope you were able to join for the whole thing. And that's about double the length we usually do, but it's okay. All right. Have a blessed Saturday. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to make some yummy breakfast. And then I have a busy day ahead of me. So I hope you all have a beautiful Saturday with lots of blessings coming your way. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.